Ms. Marshall, roll call please.
Mrs. Denny? Here. Mrs. Essler? Here. Ms. Hilferty? Here. Mrs. Jones? Mrs. Powell? Here. Mr. Seesaw?
Here.
Mrs. Stone? Here. Mr. Tinsley?
Here.
Mr. Arm?
Here. 2.01 is the approval of minutes. Motion is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, March 27th, 2019. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.02 is the invoice listing. Motion is to approve the invoice listing of March through April 2019. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.03 is the treasurer's report. Ms. Powell.
As of February 28, 2019, PennDOT's balance was $38,908,193. During March 2019, local, state, and federal revenues totaled $1,954,169. Disbursements were issued in the amount of $7,980,595. As of March 31st, 2019, PennDOT's current balance is $32,881,767. The motion is to approve the treasurer's report for March 2019. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 3 is student staff recognition. Dr. Stockton.
Thank you, Mr. Armour. We are pleased to have a large group of Sun Valley's finest with us tonight. After the phenomenal performance the Sun Valley boys basketball team had, the school board asked if we could take a moment at one of our meetings in spring to honor the work that they did, to honor their accomplishments, and to say job well done to just a terrific group of guys, a great group of coaches. Typically, our athletic director will come and say a few words about their accomplishments. This afternoon, we had a 6-person meet, phenomenal, large, gigantic track meet that Mr. Rafferty is still addressing right now and wrapping up. It was just a great day for Sun Valley to be out in the stadium today, to see the debut of the brand new track and stadium, to see our seniors get recognized. It was all the things that we wanted to see to show the great character of our students and represent our district so well. But he did pass along some words to me, and as they typically do now, Kira knows because she has her notes on her cell phone. I have to look at my cell phone for notes, so I'm not typically used to that, but I'm becoming a little bit older. I'm going to have to put my glasses on and try to get the facts, because some of the things that the student athletes accomplished this year are certainly worth a reminder. Dr. Steinhoff, with regard to the fine group of guys from Sun Valley, this boys basketball team won a share of the Chestmont Championship, marking the first time since 1995 that the boys basketball team at Sun Valley won the league title. They entered the District 1 playoffs as the number 6 seed and earned a home playoff win versus Phoenixville in dominant fashion in round 1. In the second round of the district playoffs, they continued their domination as they traveled to rival Unionville with a berth in the PIAA state playoffs on the line. After handing Unionville a loss and earning a berth in the state tournament, the boys traveled to Norristown High School to square off against Pottsgrove in the District 1 semifinals. They rolled past Pottsgrove and advanced to the district championship at Temple University. In the District 1 5A championship game, the boys faced the number 1 seed, Westchester East, in a rematch of a game earlier in the year when the Vanguards fell in an incredible game that ended in a double overtime. The team played a fantastic game at Temple in front of hundreds of students, faculty, and community members and secured the first District 1 basketball championship in school history. The team entered the PIAA state tournament as a District 1 number 1 seed, won 2 games, advanced to the Elite 8 before falling to returning state champ Abington Heights. Aside from those phenomenal accomplishments that we want to recognize, I have to say, particularly from being at that game at Temple, I was so proud of what you guys accomplished. I was just proud of the school. It was great to watch that game, and it was wonderful to see so many people from the community, so many parents, so many students. We've packed up so many buses to go up, and that's exactly what high school athletics is all about, right? It's about you showing that you can accomplish something, meeting your dreams, and representing. You know, and you represented the Vanguards, you represented Aston, Brookhaven, Parkside so well. We were really proud of you. We had a number of board members that were there as well. And at halftime, we were, just so close there, and just really rooting for the best. You brought a lot of excitement to the basketball court for many of us this year. We're really proud of your accomplishments, and for that, we want to recognize you, take a picture, and give a certificate to your fine coach, Coach Maloney. Congratulations, boys.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank the board, the parents, the community, Aston, Brookhaven, Parkside. This group of kids, they represented everyone the minute they got off the bus, in the classroom, out of the classroom, on the court. From practice, we all bought into the same goal, and we achieved a lot of things that a lot of people outside of this community didn't think we would. But I really think these kids took it to heart that they had the school on their side and the community on their side, and they took it and we ran with it, and we accomplished a lot of big things. On behalf of the Sun Valley basketball program, we wanted to present Dr. Steinhoff with district championship.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. I'll wear it proudly. I'll wear it proudly. In fact, I still have 2 tickets from that game that I want to send to you for safekeeping. For you to have, because it was such a great. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. Here is a certificate that we're giving to your coach on behalf of the team. Excellence in athletic achievement. This will be part of the official school district record and in our minute books for many years to come. And guys, if you can come up one by one, we have, these are hard to get, but Pendelco Proud t-shirts. and also an acknowledgement card as well, too. So one at a time, come on up if you don't mind. Thank you.
Congratulations.
These are large. These are XL. Oh, don't they all get XL? Okay.
They should all be
you're absolutely
XL.
right.
Congratulations.
And I want you to stand over here for a picture, too, if you guys don't mind. Okay?
Number 4 on the agenda, we'll turn it over to the student representative.
Okay, so recently veterans from the Delaware County chapter of the Vietnam Veterans of America recently came to the high school to tell their experiences during the Vietnam War, and they answered questions that all the students had. It was honestly a really eye-opening experience for the students as they learned about real war experiences. From May 14th through May 22nd, Sun Valley sophomores, freshmen, and juniors are all participating in the spring English, biology, and algebra keystones. On April 5th was our class of 2020 junior prom. It was really a good time, and our class officers put together a really good event with Mrs. Bondanza, our class advisor, and it took place at the Waterfall Room in Delaware. The Delaware County Chamber of Commerce brought 2 career panels to the Sun Valley to meet with students interested in manufacturing and medical careers. And a few important dates coming up are May 3rd is the decision day in the gymnasium, as well as senior prom. May 15th is the Sun Valley Arts Show, and May 29th is the athletic signing day in
Next Tuesday, on the 30th, the Sun Valley AP test takers will have the opportunity to have a de-stress session with therapy dogs from Pause for People. The My Path Ahead Senior Leadership workshops are going well. student groups are starting their work with organizations such as the SBCA and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The senior prom is next Friday, May 3rd at Lincoln Financial Field. Prom goers will be able to get a tour of the field and a night of dinner and dances. AP test will be starting May 6th and ending on May 17th. And I'd also like to say that just like the boys basketball team, the bocce team's made it to states 3 years in a row. Yet they've never really been honored here, so like maybe next month they could be honored. Because I know we put in a lot of hard work and we definitely created a lot of opportunities for some of the students.
Carrie, you'll be happy to know, we have plans to invite them and you to the meeting in May. We didn't want too many in this one, we wanted to spread it out, but we absolutely, we're really impressed with that news, you know, and you can see the pictures of social media that came back from that. We have been, I think, really fortunate to have that program in place. You know, the experience has been fantastic for the students. So our May meeting, we recognized 3 of our retirees. We hope that we'll be able to have bocce team members out and young authors as well, which will be a great meeting. Looking forward to that. So, enjoy the events coming up.
Yeah.
Exciting times. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Number 5, the superintendent's reports, the budget proposal by Tracy Marshall.
Thank you. While we are preparing the screen for the PowerPoint, I will want to mention a couple things. Coming up in just a second. We received word today that Coburn physical education teacher Gina Douglas, who's a phenomenal teacher, will receive an award as Teacher of the Year for the Southeastern Pennsylvania section of the Pennsylvania Physical Education Association. So we're thrilled for her. We'll make sure that the community is aware of that. That news came through today. Fantastic teacher, fantastic program. Our elementary phys ed teachers, they go above and beyond, and she's really emblematic of that. In the Jump Rope for Heart program that they've sponsored, this year alone raised over $45,000 for the American Heart Association. And John Clark, another one of our fantastic phys ed teachers as well, said to me that they're up about, as a district, over $225,000 over the years from that event. They're fantastic teachers, and I'm thrilled that they're getting the recognition. Also next week at the Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union Excellence in Education, Superstars in Education Award Dinner, Michelle Rucci, who are a teacher at Penn Elementary, will be recognized as a representative from Pendelco, so I'm thrilled about that as well. So with that, we appear to be ready for our proposed final budget presentation. I will turn it over to Tracy Marshall, our business administrator. Tracy.
Thank you, Dr. Simon. In your blue folders, board members, you will find a document titled Final General Fund Budget. This has the detail that supports the presentation that you're about to see. Breaks down all the expenditures and revenue by function and object, and also shows you fund balance beginning and ending numbers. So tonight, we are going to talk about the timeline. So in January, the board approved opting out, so we will not raise taxes above the index, which for Pendelco is 2.8%. Tonight, I'm presenting the proposed final budget. On May 1st, we will find out the amount of our state allocation for the property tax reduction. On May 15th is when the board will be voting on the proposed final budget. And on June 19th is when we will ask for the adoption of the final budget for the 19-20 school year. So the proposed final budget has a millage of 29.6803. It's an additional 0.8084 mils. And as the board approved, it's a 2.8% increase. The expenditures total $64,624,119. Expenditures are broken up. As you can see, the largest category is salaries. Salaries are increasing by 2.16%, and benefits are increasing by 2.39%. Professional services, this includes some of the services we get through the IU. Anytime we have professionals come in, architects, engineers, it comes off there. So we do have a slight decrease of 5%. Purchase services, which are primarily leases, are up 6.7%. Other purchase services, you'll see are up 12%. This is where charter school tuition is captured in this line item. Supplies, $3.2 million. $70,000 for equipment. We've really sort of dropped that line item down as we've done a lot of construction. We've bought a lot of new furniture and equipment as we've gone through the schools. So we've been able to really lower our equipment line item. Dues and fees is $101,000. It's up 20%, but that's truly only about $20,000. It's just a small line item. The next is financing, and then finally, we always put $400,000 in for a budgetary reserve in the budget. This is just a pie chart to show you the same things before, sort of gives you a big picture so you can really see salaries taking up really half of our expenditures as you would expect. 43% is salaries and 27% benefits. Those salaries include 3 new teacher positions. We have an additional elementary teacher, an additional special education teacher, and we also have the cyber position that the board approved last month. We are going to continue with our instructional coach at the elementary level, and our EL teacher that started this year will continue for next year. The 27% for benefits, sort of the broken record of PSERS. We all know it's 34% this year, so PSERS continues to take a big chunk out of our budget. So 6% of our budget actually goes to tuition, and that does include tuition for private schools for special education placements as well. But as we spoke about, charter schools are really taking a bite out of our budget, and it's a 12% increase. Hopefully some of that will be offset by having our cyber position that the board approved and keeping some kids within district. Again, broken down by function, instructional, it's over $34 million. That's over 54% of our budget is in the instructional portion. Next is support services. That includes the business office, transportation, maintenance office. Also includes psychologists and guidance counselors and librarians. So that's all in support. Operations is really the 3,000 series, which includes our crossing guards and our activities and our athletics and financing. It's the 6.7 million. On the revenue side, 74.5% of our revenue comes from local sources. So that includes obviously property tax, EIT. State is our subsidies, and federal is a drop in the bucket. So on May 1st, we will learn our homestead allocation. That will change the distribution up there of local and state, because that homestead allocation will offset some of the property tax dollars, and will then drop that into the state portion. Once again, our revenue is, as you can see, primarily local, quarter of it from the state, and then that sliver from the federal. This budget does require us to use fund balance. We're going to use $160,000 from our assigned technology fund. We have some leases of computers that were purchased through that fund. They will continue next year. We're going to use $450,000 from the retirement rate stabilization fund, which the board had set aside money knowing that the PSERS rate would continue to increase. And we're going to use close to $500,000 from our unassigned fund balance. Millage, if you looked at a median assessment of $115,800, the average the cost of the average taxpayer would be $3,436, and that represents $7.56 per month with the increase. These are our historic millage rate increases, and as you can see, looking back in the past 4 years, we've actually are the lowest we've been in the past 4 years at 2.8%. So that is the conclusion of the proposed final budget. Again, we will be voting on this in May. And are there any questions from the board? No?
Thank you, Tracy. A couple of things I do want to follow up on, to reiterate on that. Tracy and I were working through this budget. Quick calculation of the percentage that goes towards instruction, and there's always been a goal of ours to gradually increase that to the highest rate that we can by offsetting expenses and operations and support services and financing costs. It appears as though this is the highest dedicated towards instruction that we have had in quite a few years. We anticipate that with this budget, Pendelco will still have the lowest average property taxes in Delaware County. As she pointed out, primarily due to the Act 1 limitations, and we appreciate the board allowing us to propose a budget that takes us up to the Act 1 index of 2.8%. That is still the lowest increase in the past 4 years. Some of the new positions that have been funded are in place. We want to point out that we see them as investments. For instance, the EL teacher. So the EL teacher, those positions that we have brought back to the district because we believe we can service our students better than professionals outside of the district, are going to yield savings because we're not paying entities outside of the district to provide that service. So there will be an offset in some other cost category. The cyber coordinator is a critical position for us right now as we're building up the Pendelco online virtual academy and offering opportunities for people who are currently in cyber schools and other entities throughout the state to come back and go into Pendelco. So we certainly feel pretty positive about those investments for sure.
Sorry to interrupt, I know it's
That's
short,
okay.
but there's a black Toyota K4, K8F 854. Yeah, blocking me in. I was.
No problem.
I guess come out when you get a chance. I know you're in the
No,
middle.
we're going to pause.
Don't let, you can keep talking, just don't let anyone else.
Sorry, thank you.
You got to go. I understand. I'm glad you came in. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
So, with respect to that budget, again, we appreciate the board's support, and we continue to make our focus, really on spending the money wisely so that it goes to where it makes a difference. That we're putting it towards instructional costs, we're putting it towards salaries and benefits, and we're managing the remaining funds, as well as we can. The debt financing cost will be significant for a while as we're coming through the tail end, of our 8-year experience of trying to improve all of our schools. We have some work still left to do at Sun Valley, the last 2 phases of that project. But it'll be great to be able to turn our attention back towards some other areas to respond to the feedback that we get from the community and the comprehensive plan that will be developed going into next November. So thank you for the opportunity to talk to you about the budget. Again, you saw the markers and the dates. It's a process, but we anticipate we'll be able to meet those. And anytime the board has any questions and any documentations, let us know. We'll be happy to provide them.
Thank you, Dr. Steinholm. Announcements for the public. In accordance with Act 48 Sunshine Law, the board met in executive session this evening to discuss litigation and personnel matters. Comments by members of the board?
Let's bring that up. Related to the budget, that's 2 study sessions, right through is the 15th, and then 30 days later will be the study session. So that would be the voting on the study session.
That's correct. That is correct, and that's because of the timeline that's in place, and we have to have so many days for advertising.
For June 30th.
Yes, and before June 30th, so there's
Okay.
constraints.
Anyone else? Number 8 is zones for board information. We have 3 first readings of school board policies. Number 209.2, diabetes management. 210.1 is possession and administration of diabetes medication. And 3.23 is tobacco and nicotine as it pertains to staff. Items for board discussion. Comments by the public? Seeing none. Tonight, the board will utilize a consent agenda. If any board member wishes to have anything pull off the consent agenda and voted on separately, please say so now. If not, sorry about that. I'm a little too soon for that one. So items for board action start on page 2, go through page 3, 4, 5, 6, and end on 6. This references the Pendelco budget 2018 to 2019, Act 93 plans, PDEA agreement, PDESPA agreement, PDSSPA agreement, and PA School Code Section 1108P. It is the administrative recommendation to approve all personnel items as presented. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Now we'll go with the consent agenda. If anyone wishes to have anything pulled. If not, I need a motion to approve 11.03 through 11.14. Note all contracts and preparations of solicitation of bids are subject to review and approval of our solicitor. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Any comments by members of the public? Comments by members of the board?
Just I want to bring to attention a new hire, Mr. Andrew Kaiser over here. If Andrew can stand up for the board. We are very happy to recommend Andrew, and we appreciate your support of him as the new assistant business manager next to Eric Zebley, as you know, who already appointed business manager when Tracy retires. And Andrew, thank you for joining us. We're thrilled. He was the unanimous choice of our committee in recommending him. We know he'll do a fantastic job with us for that. So congratulations, Andrew. Thank you. Great to have you here. I will be notifying parents of the next school year calendar adjustment. I wanted to reiterate, and there was some questions from school board members last time. Does that mean it's one less day for the entire staff? No. We will be using that Friday, June 14th to accomplish some staff training needs required by the state, required by us for a good start for next year. But we will convey that information to parents that the last day of the school year for students will be Thursday, June 13th.
Thank you, Dr. Steinberg. Our next meetings will be Wednesday, May 15th, the study session here at the Service Center, 7:30. And then the business meeting, May 22nd, here at the Service Center at 7:30. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.